today marks the day that Trump tariffs are in vigor. So from now on, these tariffs will be applied. We covered these tariffs before, but they're pretty much for export and import to the United States. So everything that comes from outside the US, they will be taxed, and more specifically, if they are from Mexico, Canada, and China. These products or items that come from these countries will have between 10 to 25% taxes on top of its price. We've discussed that before, and we saw the $5 billion that the stock market lost after Trump got in power. But was that a sell the news event for Trump inauguration? After that huge rally, was that a sell the news event for crypto or for stocks as well? Well, we have to look at a lot of things, and today we're going to do that specifically. So let's jump right into it. So starting off with crypto, we have to look at a few indicators, and one of them is implied volatility. One of them is the open interest of options, because those can tell you if the market or the people are expecting something to happen. Let's say, for example, you know for a fact that one of your friends is going to scare the other one. So you know that this event will happen. So you are preparing for it. Maybe you pull out your smartphone and you start recording. Maybe you tell other friends so they can come and see. Well, you're going to be prepared. You're going to be ready for that. You're going to be taking measures to let that happen. So same thing goes for the crypto market and the stock market and the global markets in general. When there's expectancy of something to happen, what happens is the market prepares, and that takes shape in the form of the open interest going up, volatility going up, preparing for a huge movement. So those are two very important indicators that we have to look. But before we go and look into those, we can start by taking a look at the current prices of our currencies. So Bitcoin, $85,600, Ethereum, 1870, XRP, 212. We then have BNB at 604, Solana at 126. So we have, of course, all the others, but if we look at the fear and greed index, we dropped a little bit. If you remember, we were above the 30s for a little bit, and now we are at 29. We are again in the fear zone. So a lot of people could say that this is the bottom, because we've been in the bottom for a while. We've been on the fear range for quite a while, and the market, for example, showed that we lost our $109,000 Bitcoin, and now we have been hovering in that $80,000 range for a while. For Ethereum, the 1800s has been a long period of time for us residing there, staying there, and the 120s for Solana. So a lot of people are thinking that this could be the bottom. Of course, this is speculation, just as my idea is speculation. But still, for me, right now is not the moment to enter any positions, just to hold if you have any, or to just wait it out if you want to get in. Because right now we don't know if we're going to have a little bounce, but then these tariffs are going to start weighing on the global economy, or the markets will be adjust. You know, central banks will do their thing and they will sort it out. I know Trump is not just taxing to make more money. There's a lot of reasons behind this, a lot of economical reasons to get back that industry that they lost, producing things locally. But honestly, as I said before, just the tariffs themselves, they are very harsh on everyone else. So we have to wait to see how things get settled on that matter. But this is why I don't think this is a good time to enter anything right now, unless you're very bullish for the long term, which we are. So unless you're trying to get in for leaps that are like super out in the future, I don't see why would you go in when short term is still uncertain. So by looking at Ethereum, we can see that we bottomed out on the Bollinger right here. We almost bottomed out on the Bollinger for Bitcoin, and we are about to bottom out on Solana. But you can see Solana very funneled already. Ethereum also very funneled, and Bitcoin is getting there. It's not as much as the other two, but it's getting there. But if we look at liquidations in the past 24 hours, we see that we are almost halfway there between longs and shorts, meaning that the market doesn't know which way it's going to go. There's a lot of uncertainty that up is up, down is down. And you can see even tokens themselves, they don't know who to follow. Bitcoin is up, others are down, and vice versa. So this uncertainty right here, not the best place for you to trade unless you're like on minute trading. So scalping these very, very quick in and outs, 0 DTs if you are in and out. But for swings that are like 1-2 days, maybe even a week long, honestly, it doesn't make sense to trade right now. But where would you put your money if you don't know where to trade right now? Well, guess what? Copy trading is still live, and we closed the month of March with 3%. February was over 3.5%. March is 3%, and we already started April with 1.26% returns. So we're doing fantastic right here. We're almost at the 2 million overall assets under management, or TVL, however you want to call it. And the Phoenix one is also doing very, very good. So here we have the lower yield, safer Phoenix strategy, and the higher yield, still very safe, but very, very good returns for stablecoins. You don't find this anywhere else, which is the Zero DTE. Well, if you don't know how to join, the first link in the description will bring you to Bitopics, and there you can find a copy trading. You can come back to the channel, search for the video on how to deposit into Bitopics, how to deposit into the copy trading, and just have fun making passive income on your stablecoins. That being said, let's go back to our data. Let's take a look at the liquidations, because we see that we touched the 86,000 right here, and we hit that liquidation level right here, the leverage range right here in bright yellow. So it bounced back, and now we're looking once again at this number, the 86,000 for Bitcoin. I don't know if it's gonna reach or not, but we already touched it once. We could try again because we still have a lot of liquidation leverage over there. When we switch to Ethereum, we have a different scenario, because we're very, very top heavy on Bitcoin. We kind of had just a tiny place of bright yellow, but now we have a lot right here, and at the bottom we have something as well. So most likely maybe a little bit bullish on Ethereum in the short term. If we switch to Solana is very bottom heavy, not top heavy, and you can see the 123 seems to be the close target for Solana now. So as I said, unless you're doing scalping or very high leverage on these, it doesn't make sense for you to get in for a quick in and out. Now, this is where things get interesting. By looking at open interest, as I said before, it shows how much options are involved into crypto, into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and any other. So that being said, by looking at the open interest, which gives you a projection for the future, we can see that there isn't much. The open interest for Bitcoin is dead right now. From the past few days, it hasn't been up a lot. If we compare that to around election time and beginning of the year, these were very, very high. You can see billions of dollars in open interest. But right now we have still billions of dollars, but a fraction of what it was before. So open interest gives you a little bit of a prediction, a little bit of an idea of the fear that the market is in, and there isn't much movement. And why isn't there much movement? Well, we can see that as well from the DVOL, which is the Bitcoin Implied Volatility Index. So this one shows the volatility, as the name implies, for Bitcoin. And the higher the volatility, the more people are expecting a huge movement in price. If the price moves just a little bit, that volatility will drop. If the price moves a lot, that volatility will increase. And guess what? We have been stable on the volatility right here. If we switch to daily right here, you can see that we are still in the 49, way below 60. So March, it went down a lot. November, we spiked. This was during election day right here. Then we had a huge spike in January, but after that, we have been falling. So there isn't much to expect in percentage wise for Bitcoin unless we see a huge movement right here in the implied volatility. So you have to keep an eye on these things before you make your move. But again, we have to wait and see how the market reacts to Trump's tariffs that start today. It starts to be implemented today. The market still hasn't opened by the time I'm recording this video, but maybe by the time you're watching this video, the market will have reacted, maybe positively, maybe negatively. But I don't know if you remember, I think it was on Monday's video where I said we open on a bad position for the crypto market and the stock market as a whole. So we might see a movement maybe towards the 86,000. And guess what? This is exactly what happened. We opened at the very bottom of the Bollinger right here. And this was even on the SPX. So we showed that we were oversold on the SPX, way below the Bollinger, and we were close to the bottom of the Bollinger on Bitcoin. So we are having indeed a more positive week, but still very, very little, but we take everything at this point of time. So now it is a waiting game. I know most people want that dopamine rush, things need to happen now, the way I want it, how I want it, specifically fit for me, but that's not how things happen here. So we have to wait it out, just chill and see how the market reacts. Hopefully this was a huge update for you. Again, check out Bitopics, the first link in the description. And if you got all the way to the end of the video, comment, let me know you are here. Like for example, Crypto Ricardo has always been active here since day one of this channel. So if you want to be part of the community, get down in the comment, let's start chatting, and I'll see you guys on Friday for another update. In the meantime, thank you very much. I'll see you guys then. Peace.